You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan is facing the biggest threat to his political career as he faces a unified opposition coalition and a vote of no confidence in the parliament on 31st March. The political temperature in the country has been rising since 8 March when opposition parties submitted the no confidence motion against Khan, alleging that he is responsible for the economic crisis and the spiraling inflation the country is witnessing. While on one end, the opposition is confident that they can garner support of the 172 members in the House of 342 to oust Khan, the other side claims that it enjoys the required support to foil any attempts of such a vote. And in a massive show of strength ahead of the crucial motion against him and his government, Khan on 27 March held a mammoth rally in Islamabad, which purportedly was attended by tens of thousands of people. In a marathon speech which lasted more than 90 minutes, he claimed that, quote-unquote, foreign powers were involved in a conspiracy to topple his government. He further alleged that he has a quote-unquote letter to prove the same. But underlying all the claims and counterclaims is the silence of the powerful and influential Pakistani army. The military which stood behind Khan in 2018 has so far conveyed to him that they are quote-unquote neutral in this unfolding political slugfest, suggesting that they may have withdrawn their support from Khan. So the big question is, are Imran Khan's days as PM numbered? In this episode, we break down the factors which led to the show of no confidence motion, how this may possibly play out, and how it may impact the frozen India-Pakistan relations. Joining me today to discuss this is Sameer Patil, a senior fellow at the Observer Research Foundation, a global policy think tank. You're tuned in to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you, and I'm your host, Himmat. Elected in 2018, Imran Khan portrayed himself as the quote-unquote savior of Pakistan, and his campaign was based on three crucial promises. A promise to make the country's economy work for the poor by ending corruption, providing employment and stopping foreign lending. And for the latter, he has made some very bold statements, one time even stating that quote-unquote he would rather kill himself than beg for loans. However, 4 years later, things have turned for the worse. Inflation in Pakistan is the highest of any country in South Asia. According to a Reuters report, inflation in February was recorded at 12.2%. Citizens are struggling to make ends meet as the price of essential goods has risen to an unprecedented height, and Khan has broken all records of foreign borrowings, with the Dawn report pointing out that total foreign assistance since July 2018 has been well over $40 billion. The Pakistan Central Bank's benchmark interest rate has also touched 10%, and the Pakistan rupee has lost about half its value since Khan took office. And when it comes to corruption, the country's score in the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index of 2021 has fallen 16 spots to 140 from 124 in 2020 out of 180 countries. What's worse is that the opposition has also accused Khan and his wife of receiving bribes to the tune of $32 million. While the dwindling economy is a big reason behind the no-confidence motion surfacing, it also comes at a time when tensions between Khan's administration and the country's influential military is faltering. Sameer Patil, a senior fellow at the Observer Research Foundation, says that the relationship between the military and Khan has been spiraling for the past few years. He weighs in on how the military played a role in Khan's election and their influence in the elections.
So if you look at the coming up of Imran Khan in 2018, at that time it was widely considered that, that he was a selected prime minister, not an elected prime minister. So in that sense, there was a considerable role of the army in making sure that he gets the power. Plus the fact that at that time there were many religious extremist parties which had also entered the election fray, which essentially helped to divide the votes between of the two mainstream political parties, the Pakistan People's Party and the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz Sharif faction. So in that sense, the army did play a great role in ensuring that PTI comes to power. But over the years, what we have seen is that the relationship has undergone a tremendous change. Particularly, the relationship came under strain last year when there was considerable tension between Prime Minister Imran Khan and the Army Chief General Bajwa over the appointment of the ISI chief, where he wanted to ensure, where Imran Khan wanted to ensure that there is a civilian control of the process, and army resisted that particular pressure. And then now what we have seen is that the army has essentially adopted a very neutral role in the entire political crisis, ensuring that Imran Khan is actually cornered politically, and that is very clear from the fact that even Imran Khan is now hitting back at the army. In fact, that particular statement where he criticized the army's neutrality in one of the rallies in Khyber is in a sense symbolic of the fact that even he is now not very sure whether the Pakistani army will support him, and therefore he is castigating the army for being neutral in this entire political crisis.
Now let's move to the main issue of the hour, the no confidence motion against Imran Khan. Does he have the numbers in the assembly in his favour? As things stand now, the deck seems not in favour of Khan. His party, the PTI, has 155 members of the National Assembly or MNAs, which is 17 short of the majority in the House of 342. And it is increasingly looking like some of his biggest coalition partners like the PMLQ, MQM and BAP may not vote in his favour. Both the PMLQ and MQM, which have 12 MNAs, have not come out openly in his support and are believed to be already in talks with the opposition to jump ship. The BAP, which has 5 MNAs, has also not made its side clear. And that's the 17 crucial votes that Imran Khan actually needs. According to Mr. Patil, given that the military, which cobbled together the coalition for Khan in 2018, has also withdrawn its support, it looks like the curtains may finally be closing in on Khan.
So if you look at again the Imran Khan's current political standing, he in fact had one of the thinnest political majorities in Pakistan's recent political history. So in that sense, he was always on tenterhooks in terms of his remaining in power. But he ensured that he remained in power with the support of the allies. Now, since the time he came to power, there have been concerted efforts by the opposition to unseat him. And now that the Pakistan the Democratic Movement has been established, the PDM, and has joined hands with the other political parties, other opposition political parties, it seems that opposition is thinking that they have probably the most realistic chance of ensuring that Imran Khan is voted out. Not to mention the fact that even within the PTI there is some kind of discontent against Imran Khan's leadership, as what we have seen that that there are almost more than 24 PTI members who are camping with the opposition parties, and they are coming out and airing their grievances against PTI's, against Imran Khan's leadership, saying that that they have raised multiple issues with the PTI, with the government, but they were never heard of. Plus the fact what we discussed about the neutral role of the military, and the fact that even there seems to be some kind of pressure building from the judiciary, because again, if you look at the one of the judgments which came 2 weeks back from the Islamabad High Court, they had clearly stated that the Imran Khan is actually running an ordnance factory. And most of the political, the policy changes are coming through the ordinances and not through the parliament. So therefore, in a sense, he has ensured that the ordinance continue the business of the parliament. So all these, in a sense, multiple factors have combined together to probably ensure that he'll have to leave the office.
Mr. Patil adds that even in the scenario of the vote swinging in Khan's favour, his leadership will be tainted further, and that the army may actually put more pressure on him to tone down his rhetoric.
Even if he survives this political crisis, his leadership would have been dented, because again, these factors which we discussed, the grievances of the PTI, the opposition coming together, the military's so-called lack of support, those factors are not going to change overnight. And if he becomes even more assertive, then there is a fear that these factors, that particularly the opposition parties as well as the military, might exert more pressure on him to tone down. So I don't think that will be the case even if he survives the political crisis. In fact, I would say that he would actually come out as with his leadership dented of the PTI, and even the opposition would like to now keep him on the tenterhooks, given the fact that the elections are just 1.5 years away.
In response to the no-confidence motion, Khan held a massive rally in Islamabad on 27 March as a show of strength against the opposition. Videos captured on social media and by Khan's own YouTube channel purportedly shows that thousands attended the rally. In this rally, Imran Khan lashed out at a quote-unquote foreign land and at the opposition leader Nawaz Sharif, alleging that quote-unquote a man sitting in London was working against the interests of Pakistan and that attempts were being made to influence the country's foreign policy. He added that he has proof of this alleged conspiracy in the form of a letter and will share the details of this conspiracy with the people very soon. Apart from this, the PM and his government have also moved a constitutional amendment to create a new South Punjab province. Local Pakistan media, however, reports that the move is to garner support from the alliance parties in this region. However, Mr. Patil believes that this is only a political tactic on Khan's part, and it was actually part of his 2018 manifesto. He adds that reviving this promise will do little to help his case in the vote.
I don't think it will work because again because if you look at Imran Khan, that he perceives himself as a disruptor because he coming from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and then breaking the duopoly of the Pakistan People's Party and the PMLN, he perceived himself as a disruptor. But that disruptor image is helps you to come to power. It does not ensure that you remain in power unless you do real governance. So I think this kind of even though in particularly this proposal of the South Punjab, again he is perceiving himself as a disruptor. But by doing so, he's actually now hitting at the core interests of the PMLN and to some extent PPP. So there will be a fierce resistance to this particular proposal, and therefore I don't think that it will in a sense be successful.
Since Imran Khan came to power in 2018, he has been a vocal and fierce critic of India, with the harsh rhetoric rising after the abrogation of Jammu and Kashmir. And the relations between India and Pakistan have plateaued since Khan came to power. There is virtually no trade between the two countries, and neither country has made any efforts to improve ties. But will the ouster of Imran Khan change the nature of this relation? Mr. Patil weighs in.
I don't think it will change because, again, if you look at Imran Khan's diplomacy vis-a-vis India, he has, in a sense, personalized the entire diplomacy vis-a-vis India. The fact that that he alleges Islamophobia of the current Indian dispensation, the fact that he has compared the Indian government, the BJP government, as akin to a Nazi regime. All those factors ensure that even New Delhi is not exactly very enthusiastic to embrace Pakistan. Pakistan, even if there is some kind of a change which comes from the Pakistani government. Now, and so the second thing is that even if there is a change in the Pakistani government's line, even the Pakistani, that particular dispensation would not like to risk any such measure which will actually ensure that that their political capital might get damaged in the run-up to the elections. So unless there is a real pressure which comes from the military, that the government has to change the line vis-a-vis India, I don't think the relations are going to change between the two countries. And not to mention the fact that even the army is now grappling the problems vis-a-vis Afghanistan, the Pakistan Taliban, and those kind of things. So even they would not like to open another front where that they can open themselves to criticism coming from the domestic audience, even if whatever that suppressed domestic criticism is.
At this point, no one can predict which way the pendulum will swing on 31st March. But what is clear is that the Pakistan economy is going through a storm, and that even a change in leadership may not be able to right this ship. For more updates on this story, follow the Quint on our social media handles, and if you're not already, subscribe to the Big Story podcast. If you like listening to this episode, please subscribe to The Big Story for episodic updates. We're available on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, JioSaavn, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website, and for any feedback, please shoot an email to podcast@thequint.com.
Thanks for listening. Log on to the Quint's website and check out our other podcasts.